What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's Fresh, back with another Choosing Beggars video. If you're looking for stupid text editing, entitled people asking for free things, and terrible puns, well, you've come to the right place. 2017 12-inch MacBook with Retina display, $1,000 US. Hi, is this still available? Yep, it's still for sale. Well, I found another seller selling it for $400, so you better make me a good deal. Or you could buy the one for $400. Suck my pepe. Need some more tips for weight loss on a tight budget? Really struggling. Well, you got chicken breast, salad, water. Cheapest, healthiest diet that works for me, lol. Oh, but that's so boring. But it's for weight loss on a tight budget. What recipes you use is on you. Well, let's run the math here. The average person will burn hundreds of calories a day just sitting around doing nothing. We know the formula for weight gain and loss is calorie intake minus calorie burn, so if we really want to be on a budget, just don't eat. Now, it's probably not the answer you're looking for, as it's super unhealthy, so why don't you try some chicken and rice and stop complaining on Facebook? Hey, can I have more money, please? This happened several years ago, back when I was in college. I was one of the 3 friends in our friend group that had a job at 16. Because I had a job and was living at home with no bills to pay other than my phone bill, I used to buy my friends things just to be nice. Most of them would be appreciative about it. One friend, on the other hand, he asked me one day for £20 for supplies for his photography course. It was to help, and I did photography too, so I obviously thought I'd be nice and give him the money. What I didn't know was that he asked my other 2 friends with jobs for 20 as well, so he got a total of £60 out of us. Me and a few of our friends decided to go for lunch in town on one of our free lessons. We went to the local pizza place, and we saw the friend that asked for money with a large pizza for himself. We didn't question it, but I did think it was kind of bad that he asked me for money but spent it on pizza. I gave him the benefit of the doubt and just kept quiet. The next day he came back to me and asked for £20 again for photography supplies. I asked what happened to the 20 I gave him yesterday. He said that he lost it. So I confronted him and asked how he paid for the pizza the other day. He got annoyed and said I'm not his mom. I left it at that because he just gets petty when he's annoyed. He eventually got another £20 from our other friend. So we get into our photography lesson, and he tells our lecturer that he hasn't got any photo paper because he has no money for it. I got annoyed and called him out straight away and said me and my friend gave him £40 for the paper, but he spent it on other things. He tried to throw me under the bus and said that I didn't. Me and my other friend were visibly annoyed. We left the lesson without him and told our friend group about it. He took a total of £100 off us for photography supplies. Told us all the exact same story. So we challenged him again and said he took money off us and we expect him to pay us back. He refused and said that he doesn't get why we care so much about the money if we're rich enough to give it away. We explained that we thought it was to help him with his education. He got really pissy back and told us all to go F ourselves. We cut contact with him for the rest of the week. He never spoke to any of us for a good month after that. He came back to our group a month after. He apologized for the way he acted and said he had personal issues which he used the money on. We didn't want to pry because he did look visibly down. He asked if I can genuinely give him money for the photography supplies. So I said I'll go get him what he needs and give it to him instead of the money. He hesitated but agreed. When we went to the photography shop to get the paper and filters, he asked for the receipt. I took the receipt because I had a feeling of his intention and gave him an old receipt from when I just bought the paper the previous week. Later that day, he came up to me and started having a go at me because the photography shop had refused to refund him without the real receipt. I said that I did that for this specific reason. It ended how you can guess. We all just gave up on him and we never spoke to him again. This is one of those stories that makes me more sad than angry. It reveals an unfortunate truth about some choosing beggars. There's a big difference between people who ask for money because they can't pay for something they need, and people who ask for money because they don't want to pay for something they want. Not only is this guy the latter of the two, but he put a pretty clear price on a group of friends that was financially interested in helping him elevate himself through education, which is not a gift that should ever be taken for granted. If your friends are really worth less than 100 pounds to you, I'd strongly recommend reevaluating your friendships to make them a bit or a lot less transactional. I need a babysitter every day, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Weekly pay, $175 a week. 2 11-year-olds, 1 5-year-old, and 1 1-year-old. Wait, so $25 a day for 10 hours a day? Well, the commenter is not wrong, but that doesn't even tell the whole story. Yes, $175 divided by 7 days in the week is $25 a day, and if they're 10-hour days, that means $2.50 paid per hour, but they're being asked to babysit for 4 children, which means that they're getting paid less than 63 cents per child per hour. Honestly, you should want to spend more on a babysitter than 63 cents. I would like to buy your HP Pavilion 23.8 touchscreen all-in-one desktop computer for $25. Sorry, come again? You want to buy a $1,000 computer for $25. Oh, sorry, but I can only do $35. Then go to the store and buy a plastic toy computer. Wow. Thanks. They want free delivery of free firewood. Well, we just bought our first house, and it had a nice fireplace, but one that we didn't think we'd use. There was a cord, that's a stack that's 4 feet wide, 4 feet high, and 8 feet long, worth about $75 at the time, but probably a lot more now, of nice firewood stacked alongside the house. Since we weren't going to use it, it was kind of in the way. This being pre-internet, I took out an ad in a local newspaper called The Nickel. It cost me maybe $2. The ad said, 1 cord of nice alder firewood, split and stacked. It's in real good shape, but I won't use it. Free to the first person who wants it. Okay, so I get a phone call. The caller wants to know if I'll hold the firewood until the end of the week, and that's several days. I tell him that, no, I can't do that. I need it gone ASAP. If he comes by at the end of the week and I still have it, sure, he can have it. But if someone beats him to it, well, that's how it goes with free stuff. So he asks if I can deliver it for free. What the hell? I'm not going to spend hours and bust my ass loading up a whole cord of firewood and deliver it for nothing to some total stranger. Yeah, no. Happy ending, though. 10 minutes later, a guy calls and wants to know if it's still available. I tell him it is. He comes over in a battered little pickup truck along with his little son. He was positively ecstatic. Very happy to get enough firewood to keep his house warm in the winter for at least a month. And while he loaded up his truck, his little boy and my son played together. He thanked me profusely. It was very clear to me that money was really tight for this guy and that getting the free firewood actually made a difference for him. As far as I can tell, the common foible of choosing beggar logic is that if someone's willing to do X as a favor at a discount for free, whatever the case is, then they're not only willing, but should be willing to do X plus Y under the same circumstance, be it free plus delivery. If it's discounted this much, you should discount it some more, or in this story, of course, it's free, so why don't you hold it for me? This is a mutual beneficial interaction if OP gives away a valued commodity that he just wants gone. And if you're not paying for anything, what incentive does he really have to give it to one person over another? I'm really glad the firewood went to a home that seems to actually need and value it, because it kind of feels like the less interested you are in picking up the item, the less likely it is to be of actual use to you. For all we know, they were just going to turn around and sell it. Please, 1 star. Please make Minecraft free, or else I will tell all my friends to delete Minecraft, and I will say to all the people that I know to not buy Minecraft. GoPro Hero 7, $475. Hey mate, I'm strapped for cash at the moment, but I could offer $165 cash plus a $50 fuel voucher, and my cousin is also a massage therapist in Tempe, so I could hook you up with 2 free massages? Oh, sorry mate, taking cash only at the moment. You're joking, right? Like, yeah, sure, you can take the cash, but the government is just going to manipulate you into spending it on things they want. But if you take my offer that includes my cousin's massages, then the government can't touch that. Bro, please, have a serious think about this. I'd honestly be more concerned about your cousin touching things than the government, but that's just me. And yeah, maybe the guy's going for the whole price high, bargain lower kind of thing, but you can buy Hero 7 black bundles on eBay for like $100 less than what this guy's asking for. $320 computer. I will offer $100. I need $220 for gas. If you pay for my gas, I will give you $320. Greg. Wow, sick Greg. Awesome. Didn't know Danny Gonzalez was in the market for a computer. I don't want free water. I want your Gatorades and Cokes. I'm working with my dad in concrete construction right now. It's that time of year where people go through 6 bottles of water before lunch. My dad, being a nice guy, buys waters for the crews we work with, usually 4 to 6 people, and buys ice so the waters stay cool in our icebox. He's not required to do so, but our boss doesn't buy us water, and the guys are cheap and lazy and sometimes don't bring their own water. One guy asked for water, and I told him it was okay. He goes over to the cooler and pulls out a Diet Coke. Everyone knows that my dad and I bring Diet Coke each day. I told him he could have water, but not our Cokes. He goes on a rant, screaming at me and telling me that if my dad was a good foreman, he'd be buying Gatorades and Cokes for everyone every single day. He told me that if he was the foreman, he'd buy packs of Cokes and juice for everyone. Yep. Press an X for down on that one, Chief. I had a serious flashback, a serious bit of deja vu, since this story has a pretty similar tone to an EP story I read back in the day. Someone pointed out on a similar CB story a few weeks back that it's possible people could want the electrolytes and minerals or whatever that a Gatorade or soda would offer over water, but come on. If you're working in 90+ degree weather for 8+ hours a day doing concrete work and somebody offers you an ice cold bottle of water, I think you take what you can get. A Diet Coke doesn't even sound remotely thirst quenching anyway. I don't understand the appeal. And plus, if the guy insists that he would bring drinks were he foreman, you don't have to be foreman to bring drinks. If you really want to bring drinks for the team, if you want to bring Gatorade and Coke, then just do it. But of course, he doesn't actually. He just wants theirs for some weird reason. Designers in London. I am in need of a black dress or a black top and skirt. If you can loan me one to wear, please send an email to this address. Very, very important. Please email me. It is very important. I just received a wedding request where the client wanted me to pay $100 to photograph the event. I thought they were joking at first. I laughed and then was slightly offended, and then laughed again. I explained, fortunately, I'm not in a position where I need to pay to work, but thanks for the offer. But for real though, what kind of bananas we talking about here? What a request. Wait, I think I misread that. They wanted me to pay them $100 to do work for them, to photograph their event. Okay, honey. Are you still selling the 30-inch TV? No, sorry. I sold it a few days ago. How about 200? I already sold it. Sorry. Okay, 250. I literally do not have it. Then don't waste my time. Didn't want free money, then tried to chase me down for it after it was gone. So there's a restaurant that my partner and I go to infrequently at best, maybe twice a year. If you spend a certain amount of money there, which we tend to do, they give you restaurant bucks. This is a coupon that's laminated and about the size of actual money, but it's pink and has restaurant bucks written in large letters across the front and back, the amount in circles in the corners, and the restaurant logo in the background. They give you 3 $5 restaurant bucks that can be used at the end of any meal, but not on the meal you got them from, and they have a pretty decent date they have to be used by stamped on them. We don't go anywhere near often enough to use them, so we tend to leave them on the table when we leave for whoever comes next. The last time we went, there were actually a line of people waiting to be seated, so we decided to take the restaurant bucks and give them away to people waiting in line. I mean, who doesn't want $5 off their meal, right? So to get in or out of the restaurant, you have to use an elevator since it's on the upper floor of this building and the line is around the elevator. My partner and I have to walk past the line to get to the elevator anyway, so we don't even have to go out of our way to be nice. Super win-win. So we start walking down the line and offering these to various groups. The first 2 don't know what it is, so we explain and they say thank you. The third group we came across had their heads in their phones, and when we tried to talk to them, they shoot us away without listening, so whatever, right? The last group, which was next to the elevator, knew exactly what they were and thanked us so much and kept asking if we were sure. We explained that we didn't come often enough to use it and to have fun. Now, this must have been heard by someone in the group that shooed us away, because they suddenly start talking to each other and pointing to us, but we're focused on the elevator, so we aren't really paying attention. Then they start calling out to us, saying, "Hey," louder and louder in very rapid succession, and we both knew what was coming and decided to just not engage since we were about to leave in like 15 seconds and didn't want to go through the hassle of not having any to give them and them getting mad at us. We step into the elevator just as we hear them start coming towards us and yelling to give them some of that free money. Can you hear me? Hello? The doors thankfully shut just as they come into view, and we are outside waiting for a lift in less than 2 minutes. They should have paid more attention when someone was trying to talk to them. It's not our fault they passed up an opportunity, and they certainly didn't deserve it if they were going to act like that. I'm still relieved we dodged having to interact with them. The whole thing took the span of 90 seconds to go from whispering to following us to the elevator. I highly doubt we would have enjoyed meeting them in any way. Another case where the course of action taken by the CBs is just so radically removed from what I would ever consider socially acceptable behavior that I find it a little bit physically painful to imagine a situation in which OP and Co were boarding an elevator and these CBs just start popping out like the seagulls from Finding Nemo, yelling, "Hey, hey, hey," louder and louder in rapid succession until the doors finally closed. They might sound like those seagulls, but I imagine they're considerably less endearing, and I highly doubt that anyone's going to make merchandise out of them. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. Be sure to subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Drop a like if you liked the video, and I will see you all tomorrow.